Okay, good morning guys, welcome back. We are ready to start our next short story. So this short story's name is Lywe. Lywe is bodies. So this is basically about sport, about bodies in sport and how our different bodies move in sport. So specifically, this story is about karate. So for those of you who know a little bit about karate, you'll find this quite easy. And then it also has some trapeze artists in it as well. But a lovely story to just learn a bit from. Okay, so once again, I'm just going to start reading the first page, then do the analysis of it and go on like that. Just a reminder, guys, please complete the questions of every short story. You have the guide. Everything that I say to you, yeah, is what's in the guide. So make sure that you answer the questions. You do not yet have the answers to the questions, but I will send that before the end of the day. I'll send that through to you guys, and then you can just please complete the questions, see if you have the right answers, and then make notes if there's anything that you are unsure of. Because we'll go through all the questions and the answers as soon as we get back to school, but then you can ask questions if you had a different answer for whatever reason. Okay, and we can discuss it in class. I'm not going to go through the stories again. I'm not going to go through the poems again. You've done it on the videos now. So please, guys, listen to all the videos. Make sure that everyone gets to it. And I can actually see that you guys have watched it because it gives me the amount of views on the videos that I post on YouTube. So I've noticed that not all of you have watched it. Please, guys, for those of you who are watching it, please let all the others know they must watch these videos in order for them to understand what's going on. Okay, so good luck with the lockdown and then we'll start. Okay, Lywe, Jaco Forsie. Vermiddagete eet Adrian net die helfte van 'n toebroodjie en hy moet dit afwerg. Hy is te senuweeagtig om enigiets te geniet. Nie die bewolkte dag buite bo die groen van die grasperk en die tuin nie. Nie die gestalte van die meisies 'n paar tree van hom af wat by haar maat staan nie. En beslis nie die geveg wat voor hom tussen die musketeerbandstrepe op die vloer van die saal aangaan nie. Die twee seuns, ouer as Adrian, miskien al 17 of 18, en albei in wit karatepakke met gekleurde gordels beweeg om mekaar. Die een bly nader tree met 'n skop of 'n vuishou, wat die ander een dan weer voor hy uitslaan. Elke keer wag die tweede seun eers dat die ander een nader kom en dan slaan hy terug. Hy slaan nooit eerste nie. Die ekstrovert versus introvert. Dis aggressor versus verdediger. Die dag is vol aggressie en verdediging. Die meisie na wie hy vroeër die dag nog skelm gekyk het, is lank met blinkbruin hare wat agter haar kop met 'n lintjie so rooi soos die kartelgordel saamgetrek is. Hy ken haar al van sien by die kompetisies. Sy is altyd saam met die kinders van Vredenburg en sy is vrek goed. Haar groterige postuur maak dat sy 'n kata doen wat mooi vertoon wanneer sy deur die voorgeskrewe bewegings gaan en met denkbeeldige teenstanders afreken. Adrian stap tot buitentoe en kyk op die grys lig en wens hy was iewers anders. Kinders in karateklere speel op die gras, kruip mekaar en rol rond en tuimel en lag. Sport oorheers die wêreld, dink hy. 'n Mens moet aan sport deelneem. Okay, so the first person that we meet is Adrian. Adrian is very nervous. Now, in the beginning, we don't yet know why he is nervous, but by the description of the environment that he is in, we can see that he is nervous before his big karate um, tournament. Okay, so he looks at two players. So firstly, we know he's nervous. Sorry about that. Firstly, we know he's nervous because he doesn't want to eat. And we know that if you are very nervous, it's like your stomach is turning, you feel a little bit sick, and you feel like you can't eat. So that is the first indication that we have that he is nervous. Then his surroundings um, explain to us why he is nervous. So, firstly, he sees two guys a little bit older than he is fighting on a mat, and we hear that they are doing karate. So, we can take from that that he is very nervous for his own karate performance. Then they have two sides to karate. So they say there is the aggressor, so the one who's aggressive, so who is attacking, and then they have verdediger, which is the defender. So they have the attacker versus the defender. And in life, we also have these two poles. So you either have someone who is attacking or someone who is defending themselves. And then they also relate that to extroverts and introverts. So the same explanation there. An attacker is normally also an extrovert. So that is someone who will attack you, who will tell you exactly how they feel, who would stand up for themselves. Then there is a verdediger, the defender. And the defender is normally the introvert. So that's the person who just says, okay, sorry, but I did it because of this. They don't attack, they pull back and they say sorry. They're normally the first person to say sorry. So in karate, this also happens. So you have someone who attacks, who gives the punch, and someone who defends the punch. Okay, and normally the attacker is more aggressive, and you'll see that they'll run up to the defender, and the defender will almost submit themselves but defend themselves. Okay, so it's not just two people fighting all the time, there's an attacker and there is a defender. So he is probably at a karate competition because he says he's seen this girl at previous karate competitions as well. So that tells us that he is currently at a karate competition and he saw her at previous karate competitions. Okay, this girl that he's looking at is also she also does karate. So it says in the piece that she's built a little bit bigger. So all the movements that she does is nicely highlighted. So we can see this isn't a small, tiny, petite little girl. It's a girl who's built a little bit bigger. So she's probably the typical attacker, extrovert fighter. So they talk about kata, that she is doing her kata. Now, a kata is those karate people who do not fight against someone else. So there's no opponent. You do the movements by yourself, as if there is an imaginary person on the other side. Okay, so that is what she's doing, and that is what he is also doing. So kata is fighting against an imaginary person. So they just look at your movements and how strict and how fluent your movements are. There are certain movements. For those of you who've ever done karate, you will know that it has these movements. So in this picture here, you will see that these girls are practicing kata. So they're all moving together, same type of movement. So they look at the body posture, they look at the movements, and through that they give you marks. So you don't literally fight against someone else. Okay, he is not very excited about his karate performance. He's very nervous. He looks around him, sees all these people. He actually goes outside to just take a breather because he feels so intricate inside. So he feels he just has to let go a little bit. Okay. He also feels at the end of the page that sport is taking over the world. If you are not part of a sport, you are not part of the world. And if we look at big world events, the majority of them are sport events. So if you look at the World Cup, Olympics, cricket matches, soccer matches, all those things, they are quite what our world revolves around. Our world does revolve around sport and sport tournaments. Okay. Hy wonder of hy te ernstig is oor karate. By elke byeenkoms en kompetisie ervaar hy dieselfde mislikheid en spanning. Dan kom sy beurt om homself te bewys en dan vaar hy sleg. Hy kyk uit op 'n stuk groen veld met doelhokke aan weerskante. Sekere hokkieveld. Hy stap verby 'n venster en hoor 'n groot mens praat. Dis een van die vroue van die klub waar hy op die oomblik is, die Rondebosch klub. 'n Kind moet iets hê om sy entoesiasme op te sluip. Anders raak hy betrokke by allerlei verkeerde goed. Adrian stap na die toilette, maar toe hy ingaan, skrik hy 'n bietjie. 'n Paar ouens is besig om van sportklere ontslae te raak en jeans en truie aan te trek. Hy sien hulle hokkiestokke op die vloer lê. Hulle is seker van die universiteit. Een van die ouens kyk na hom en lag, geamuseerd of vriendelik. Dis moeilik om te sê. Adrian wens selfvertroue kan verbied word. En as jy so in jou pyjamas rondhardloop? Vra die ou. Adrian glimlag, lig 'n hand en stap maar na die wasbakke. Wat se styl doen julle? Shotokan. Ek het Guru Reo gedoen. En die ou demonstreer met die brutale asemhaling en 'n dramatiese beweging van sy hand. Ernstige bronkietis wat jy daar het, sê een van die vriende. En watter kleur was jou nagklere? Ook wit natuurlik. Darm 'n mooi beld om jou lyf, pers. Jy moet dit vir my gee. Dit sal by my oë pas. Nadat jy pimpel en pers geslaan is, sê die ou wat eerste gepraat het en glimlag vir Adrian, wat weer sy hand lig en uit die gebouetjie gaan sonder dat hy hande gewas het of gedoen het wat hy wou. Okay, so this is typical locker banter. So he is obviously in school because it says on the previous page that he's looking at boys that are younger than him, about 17 years old. So he's younger than 17 years old. And now he is in this bathroom with boys that are at university. So it's quite intimidating for him in the first place to just enter this bathroom, let alone interact with the boys that are actually in there. So he approaches them. So we can say that this probably takes place in a stadium somewhere. So there is a sports day at a stadium. So they're playing rugby. There was hockey matches going on, and there's probably numerous other sports that they are playing as well. And how he then interacts with these guys that are in the bathroom. So firstly, it says in the beginning that Adrian says, I don't even know why I do karate because I always lose. Okay, so it tells us that he's not very good at karate. He does it, but he's not very good at it. He belongs to the Rondebosch club. We know that because he said that the lady who was talking is also from the club that he belongs to. And then they said the name of the club, Rondebosch club. Okay, this older woman then gives very nice elderly advice by saying that karate is such a good thing because it takes away your attention from other bad stuff, so you invest your energy in something good. In the bathroom, he comes across the hockey players. Okay, so as I explained, they are at university. It's quite a intimidating thing for him to do to interact with these boys, and they're making fun of him. So one of them are making fun of him, saying that he's wearing pajamas because those white clothes that they wear kind of looks like a robe, so it kind of looks like pajamas. So they make fun of him for wearing pajamas. But then one of the other guys tell him that he's also done karate, and they say the kata level that they are at. So those two levels that they mentioned, the Guju Ryu, as well as, sorry, let me just quickly find that other one for you. Okay, yeah, it is. The Guju Ryu, and then he also says Shutokan. Shutokan and Guju Ryu. So that is two levels of kata. So remember I explained to you that kata is fighting against an imaginary person. So there's no other person, you're just doing the movements. So there are structured, specific movements that you do. You don't just do anything that you want or fight as you want. You fight in a structured movement, so almost like a dance that you do. So that is different levels, because every level is obviously more sophisticated. So the one guy's at the one level and he's then at the other level. He also tells us that he is a purple belt, and this guy's quite surprised about this and says that it is very good, and that he'll be able to beat anyone up if he really wants to. So even though these guys intimidate him, one of them is obviously a little bit of a bully and doesn't want to listen to him, and the other one does karate himself, so he knows how serious karate actually is. Okay. In die saal lyk dit nou soos portier se beurt is, of dit die portier se beurt is. Kata word uitgevoer. Die reeks skadu-boksbewegings wat die leerplan uitmaak. Die meisie met die blinkbruin hare doen hare soos altyd baie goed. 'n Mens weet sommer sy kry vandag 'n medalje. Vir 'n lang oomblik kyk sy en Adrian na mekaar. Hy is bewus van die afstand tussen hulle en hy dink aan afgronde. Hy wonder skielik of 'n mens wanneer jy eendag verlief raak, altyd in terme van ou, holruggeryde en afgeremde gedagtes sal dink. Dis 'n afgrond tussen ons. My hart sing duisende dingetjies. My hart behoort aan jou. Maar hy kyk weg van die meisie en probeer eerder op die bedrywighede fokus. Eenkant staan die vrou wat vroeër oor kinders gepraat het, nog wyshede en uitdeel. As jy in 'n geveg is en jou opponent skop baie, moet jy jou hand baie gebruik. En as hy baie slaan, moet jy baie skop. Dit werk soos 'n bom. Maar die probleem is, dit werk vir albei, maak die kind met wie sy praat beswaar. Luister maar na my, sê die vrou vies. Uiteindelik word Adriaan geroep. Hy gaan staan in die middel van die vloer by die stokke maskeerband wat die beginposisie aandui. Buig vir die beoordelaar en begin met die bewegings. Slaan en blok en skop na denkbeeldige opponente. Halfpad deur vou hy erger toe hy met eens hyperbewus word van die omstandighede. Die 30-tal gesigte, lywe, liggaamshoudings, die meisie met die bruin hare. Hy staan daar en weet nie wat om volgende te doen nie. Hy skop reguit en buig weer vir die beoordelaars en stap van die vloer af. En sommer dadelik buitentoe en om die gebou. Na 'n oop veld waar 'n groot metaalstallasie met kabels staan. Dit is 'n sweefstok en mense in stywe klere is aan die oefen daarop. Okay, so Adrian and this girl has a little bit of a connection. She looks at him, he looks at her, and for a moment they're staring into each other's eyes. Okay, so you know that little moment that you have. And in that moment, he thinks that if you are in love with somebody, do you always sing love songs in your head? And then he mentions a few love songs. But soon after, he decides to rather put his attention to everything else that's going on around him, and then they call him up to do his kata. So his kata doesn't go very well. In the beginning, he does all the movements, but as soon as he is weary of all the people around him and the people that are watching him, he freezes and loses focus and completely flops his whole routine. So then he just bows and he goes outside, obviously, because he is very shy. So some people don't like it if people watch them. They find to do things on their own, but as soon as somebody watches them, looks at them, then they feel very uncomfortable and they freeze. Hy staan en kyk hoe 'n man van die klein platformpie afswaai en dan die stok los. 2 keer tuimel en sy hande uitsteek na 'n ander stok wat intussen nader geswaai het. Die hele installasie ruk onder sy gewig en die kabels wat van bo af na die grond strek, skop styf teen die penne wat uit die gras steek. "Hoi," sê die meisie met die bruin hare langs hom. "Hallo," mompel hy en hoop niemand merk hulle op nie. Daar is iets vreemd en gevaarliks daaraan om alleen by 'n meisie te staan. Veral wanneer jy 'n neerslag op die lyf geloop het. "Ek doen my kata 10 maal per dag, dan vergeet ek hulle nie," sê sy. "Ek is maar 'n vergeterige mens." "Hulle is goed, né?" sê sy, en hulle kyk hoe nog iemand in stywe klere deur die lug swaai. "Maar daai ou gaan uit sy broek bars," hy grinnik. "Ek hoop ons is hier om dit te sien." Hy kyk na haar en gaan oor tot 'n groot stap. "Wat's jou naam?" "Katrien." "Moenie lag nie. Mense word soms nog Katrien genoem. En jy is Adrian? Hoe weet jy?" "Het jy my al voorheen sien die kata doen?" vra hy en weer 'n bietjie verleë. "Ja, jy's mos 'n legende," sê sy tergend. "Wel, op die platteland." "Dis waarvoor 'n mens werk," spot sy saam. Sy lag, natuurlik. Hulle staan totdat die sweefstok Katriese klaar geoefen het. Die een na die ander spring af na die net toe, sink daarin weg en word weer opgeskiet. Die laaste man daarbo is die man wat Katrien gemeen het uit sy broek gaan bars. Hy bind die sweefstok aan 'n kabel vas voor hy van die platformpie afspring en ook in die net land. Okay, so this girl has come outside. She saw that he left the arena and she followed him outside. And then she starts talking to him, and she starts off by saying that she practices 10 times a day, and so she never forgets what movements to do. So he's a little bit embarrassed because he knows what she's talking about, so he just says to her, he's just a little bit forgetful. He'll never remember what's going on. We learned that her name is Katrien. They make fun of the trapeze artist. So here is a photo of trapeze artist and what they would have looked like in the story. So you will see in the last paragraph on page 67, it says sweefstokkatrice. Sweefstokkatrice. Now that's not an Afrikaans word that is used often, but it is trapeze artist. It's the Afrikaans word for trapeze artist. And they make a little bit of fun of them by saying that these tight pants that they are wearing might not hold and it might rip open at any time. Okay, so they just talking about these people, and now they jumping from pole to pole and landing in those nets that catch them at the bottom. Okay, last page, guys. Just bear with me. Hy gryp die rand van vas en rol daaroor en land op die gras. In die verbyloop glimlag hy vir Adrian en Katrien. Katrien sê sag, boe. Adrian proes. Al laat die skelm opmerking hom gemeen voel. Die man gaan staan en hulle trek hulle gesigte vinnig reg. Dan loop hy weer. Na die karate in die saal is daar 'n prysuitdeling en Katrien ontvang 'n goue medalje. Een van die beoordelaars kyk in 'n stadium na Adrian en hy kry 'n groot vrees dat hy met 'n simpathieprys vereer gaan word. Hy kan dit hoor aan Adrian, die volharding ten spyte van sy tekortkominge. Maar die oomblik gaan verby en sommer ook die einde van die dag. Hy en Katrien staan by mekaar. Hy kyk na haar oë en hoop hy sal altyd onthou, hulle is liggroen. Maar die byeenkoms is reeds verby en daar is eers oor 2 maande weer 'n geleentheid. Gaan julle na die WP proewe toe? Kom, vra hy haar. Ja, dit gaan nog 'n dag vol lywe wees, sê sy. Sport is mos so, vol lywe. Gaan jy deelneem? Hy kyk weg en dink aan sy hopelose rekord as karateka. Dis 'n raaisel hoe 'n persgordel ooit aan hom toegeken is. As die Japaneese meesters hom in aksie moet sien, hou hulle nooit weer op met huil nie. Ja, ek gaan, sê hy. Onthou net, 10 maal per dag. Wat is dit? Die kata, oefen dit 10 maal per dag, dan gaan jy nie vergeet nie. Katrien se sensei roep haar nader. Hulle wil ry. Adrian kyk na sy nuwe vriendin en dan tree hulle tegelyk weg van mekaar. Sy waai met haar vingers en lag. En met eens is hierdie dag vol lywe en een van hulle is syne. Okay, so yeah, for the first time we hear the word Lywe, the title of the short story. And it's just about how you use your body in sport and how your body is so a part of any sport that you play, that it's inevitable. Katrien obviously gets the golden medal because she is very good at karate, and she actually reminds Adrian to practice every day and to practice 10 times a day, then he won't forget his routine. We learned that her eyes are light green, liggroen, and we learned that he's a little bit infatuated with her. He says that he hopes that he remembers her light green eyes because they'll only see each other in a month's time again when the next karate tournament takes place. Okay, so there, sport is 'n dag vol lywe is where we've come across the word lywe, and we know why that is the title. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening. That brings us to the end of this story. Quite a short story. Not very intricate, quite easy to understand. So please go and complete the questions that are in your study guide. Make sure that you know what it is about, and once again, summarize the story for yourself. The easiest way to summarize it is to write all the character names, so Katrien and Adrian in this case, and to write their story and what part they play in the story. Then it's the easiest way to actually summarize it. So in your books, please guys, every time summarize the short story as well as complete the questions that they ask. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.